So actually,
how is everything that side so far?
it's very quiet. It's very quiet. It's nice. Today I mowed the lawn. It took a very long time to do that. I have a tractor to mow the lawn because the lawn is so big. Like I said, you said on a tractor, a special, yeah.
Tractor.
You know what I mean?
Uh,
You can probably see. Let's see. See that little thing out there?
yeah, I can see it.
It's a huge thing that you sit on and drive around the yard. And it mows the grass.
Oh, okay. So it's a grass tractor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know it. I know it.
But it's like it's a tractor. It's like it's a miniature version of what you would use to plow a field. So really very big. Yeah.
I think I know that one. I've seen that one in documentaries, like movies. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the quiet is going to be nice, I think. I can feel that the quiet is going to make a big difference in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my work, you know, it's less distracting while I'm working, I can concentrate more. So these beautiful trees. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, the undisturbed silence. As I always say, is always there. It's always there. And there could be noise, so much noise going on, but there's always that space where that noise arises, appears and disappears. So that space is always quiet. It's always quiet.
Yeah, but as Alan says, I can go meditate over here by this jackhammer or go meditate over here by where it's quiet. It's much quieter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. How was your week?
My week was beautiful, and you know what seems to be happening in my this the activity. You know, people I may be approached by people who want to work with me, and sometimes I find myself like my aunts sending me somewhere to go and fix some things. You know, things are just happening that way. Yeah, they are appearing whatever comes up, then that's what seems to be done at that particular moment, and then it fades away, and then something comes up again. Then it's like that. It's like that. There is no longer that preference that oh, I wish I could do that, not that one. No, it's just whatever comes up, then that gets done, and then the next thing. So that's how it works. There's that synchronicity with everything, with life. Things, if things are needed to be done, they could just get done like that, and then another thing. But there's always that silence here, that silence, that space where everything is seen or is allowed to be as it is, comes and goes. It is seen that it comes and goes. Anything may appear. There's no better experience than the other experience. Well, like it's not even an experience. It's just what seems to be happening. It's just there are no words to put it in the right context. So yeah, but it's beautiful. Everything's light. At times you may find people getting frustrated, angry, and you don't even know why they are angry. Just it doesn't matter. It's yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. When you allow life just to flow, and you get into that flow, and then everything seems to be beautiful. But when you resist whatever that seems to be coming up, then there will seem to be a problem. But in actual fact, there's no problem. The problem is that there's resistance. So this shouldn't be happening. I wish that could happen. This yeah. As I always say, there are no real problems. All problems are imaginary. And the one who seems to have problems is also imagined. And when it is seen that that one doesn't exist, even the problems that one was facing, they just suddenly disappear. Or they are recognized that they've never even happened, just like that one, the victim. So there's just everything that seems to appear as that one. There's no real person who's living life, who's facing this and that. It's just everything appearing as that. So there's no real somebody who can know anything and get anything and be a victim. What you are cannot suffer. Only the idea or an imagination may seem to suffer. Maybe should I say an idea you have of what you are may seem to suffer. And right now there's this seeing, and in this seeing, there are appearances, thoughts, sensation, They appear and disappear. They appear and disappear. Even a thought, you don't have the same thought over and over again. When we started this session, there were no, you didn't have the thought that is appearing now. You had a different thought, but that one is gone. Another one has appeared. So these things, thoughts and sensations, they're not reliable. When it appears, when you try to fix it, then it's already gone. Then comes another one. When you're there trying to solve that one, it's already gone. So the one who's facing problems and who's going through this and that is not reliable. And it cannot be what you are. It can only be the idea. It can only be the idea you have of who you are, or an imagination, or a thought construct. Because it keeps on changing all the time. Today it wants this, the next day, so that one is not reliable. And it doesn't even exist.
But on the other hand, my life is going in a way that was very noisy and very chaotic. And things weren't working out where I was living. And so we thought about what we wanted. And eventually it came to us and we're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems to work both ways.
Okay. What if I say you've never moved?
Right. Yet my thoughts had direction. There were thoughts with direction.
Yeah. The one who seemed to be moving is just an appearance in this. But what you are never moved, doesn't go away, it's always here. So the sense of here-ness is not it's not about geographical location of being here. It's just here. I don't know if you know what I am trying to say. So it's here, you are always here.
You are
So
always here. No matter where you go, there you are. You're always here. It's always
exactly.
right there.
Yeah.
But that can be in a different place. But all places are the same thing.
Yes.
Part of one thing.
Names might be different, but because what you are is formless. It's formless and it is everywhere present. So the movement happening in it, yeah, is still it. So there's no movement. So that's why I said you've never moved. Driving a car, it's appearing as if you're going somewhere. You're moving from that location to another different location, but that's just everything, including the movement, the one who's moving, and the thoughts appearing, saying, I'm moving. That's everything, that's wholeness. So there's no movement. It's just everything. Point A to point B is just one and the same thing.
Underneath it all, there seems to be a formless substrate from which everything arises and falls back. And what arises seems to be influenced by thought, maybe even projected by thought. Significantly.
Yeah, it is a projection. It is a projection. I can also say it's just a movement in thought. There's no real movement.
True projection is not, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So it says I'm in a car, I'm driving.
Huh?
I'm in a car driving. I'm driving from New York to California. So that's a thought.
Right.
But there is that space where that thought appears. That space doesn't move. It doesn't move. And it's not saying anything. There is watching, but nobody's watching. There is watching of that thought appearing, saying, oh, I'm moving, I'm driving a car from New York to California. Such a long journey to cover. That's a thought. But there's that space that doesn't move. It's not saying that, it's just empty. It's just there. You are dead. So that's why I said you've never moved. It's quiet. It doesn't have anything to say. It's not waiting for anything to happen. And it doesn't have a desire. It's what is. In the midst of quarrel, maybe in the boardroom, having a meeting, deciding to do some certain things, there's that space. It's quiet. It's not saying anything. It's not doing anything. You know, when you work from that space, everything will seem to be light. Everything you do, it will seem as if you're not doing it at all. It will be light. You know, someone trying to cause a scene. You know, it won't matter at all because you are living from that space as that space, not as the idea you have of what you are, an imaginary self. Somebody may come and slap you. Then you may give another cheek.
Or might not.
Yeah. And the more you are stabilized in that space, and then it will seem as if you are living in a different world, whereas you are living, and you're still living in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why Jesus said, though I'm in the world, I'm not of this world. He said those words from that space. It's like there's a glass, and people are beyond that glass, and it's covering you. It's like you're in another dimension while you're still living on Earth, apparently. There's no fear of death, because death, it is sin that death does not exist. So whatever may happen to the body, it doesn't matter, because it is sin that there's no death for you. The body may die, but you will never die, because we are spaciousness, wholeness, we are everything. So the disappearance of the body doesn't mean anything for you. Not talking about the little you, I'm talking about the you that is everything. So everything is beautiful. There's that flow, there's that synchronicity with everything. Nothing matters. Because everything is yourself. You don't have anything, because everything is you. Family and friends may seem to vanish, because you'll be seeing yourself all the time. And judgment doesn't arise. How can you judge yourself? And a desire for something doesn't arise, because everything is you. A desire that may seem to arise because you are living in the perspective of a person. If you're viewing things from the perspective of being a person. But when things are viewed from a perspective of being wholeness, everything, then the desire doesn't arise. when you are stabilized in that space, everything will seem to be out of focus. You know, cars, buildings, trees, people. But there will be that lightness, you know, with everything. Not that you'll disrespect people and be angry. You'll just, you know, conversations, they become easy, light, beautiful. This different from living that, from that point of view of a person, being a person. Because the person is always worried, is always afraid. Like when a child comes, you know, times because of the problems, imaginary problem that seem to be going on, child may be taken otherwise. What do you want now? That's part of being a person. When you take yourself to be a person, everything is very hard. It's not easy. But the good news is already there's no person. There's just everything. And there are no steps here. What I'm talking about is already here. There's no distance to it. It doesn't go away because it doesn't come. It's always here.
I feel where I'm at, I understand all that. I accept all that. And I even move through with a certain matter of distance and ambivalence to outcome and faith. You know, that what will happen, should happen, will happen. I see myself watching. I see myself sometimes I feel distance, feel connection to an underlying something or another from which it all comes, and resting there frequently. But I find myself wishing for that lucid, connected sense where what I see is everything is one. I mean, not like a burning desire. I'm like, how come that doesn't come by more often? It's frustrating. Little bit frustrating.
Yeah. Well,
I know it's the. Go ahead.
You seem to be standing on your way.
I'm standing on my way.
Hmm.
You mean standing in my way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you talk about is already the case. But they seem to be a belief in the idea that you are this person. Well, if that idea can be dropped, There's so much belief. There's a strong belief in it. Well, when I say there's no you, how does it feel?
So there's the character, and then there's the awareness. Right. I can drop the character, but then the awareness is centered here, right?
Yeah.
And I can accept that the awareness and then what I'm aware of are one intellectually. But the awareness is still here, always.
Yeah. So when you talk about awareness, you are talking about that seeing that doesn't include thoughts and sensations.
Yeah, and maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Underneath consciousness, awareness, a connection to silence.
Yeah.
But it's still connecting to silence from here. You know?
Yeah. So they seem to be a center.
Yeah. Yeah.
What says the center?
Center is the center.
Center is the center. If it's seen that there's a center, there must be something greater than the center, which can be able to say, oh, there's a center. If thoughts are seen.
Stops at the center for me.
Well, if thoughts are seen, the thoughts are appearing and disappearing, sensations are appearing and disappearing, and they seem to be a center. There must be something greater than the center, greater than thoughts, greater than any sensation. And that is yourself.
Right. But it's not a matter of logic, is it?
Yeah.
It's a matter of relaxing into that awareness.
Yes.
I mean, maybe it's just, time. There's always phases, moving across the country, catching COVID, getting to a new place, adapting, all of those things, put a lot of attention on externalities. But, I mean, you said to lead from your heart, me specifically, but that would be, it's a good place to lead from your heart.
Yeah.
That was happening a lot, not happening so much anymore. Maybe getting back to that would help. Or bring about the other awareness, I guess.
Yeah,
They're
actually,
already.
yeah. Actually, to live from the heart, we're actually living from that space, which is empty.
Excuse me.
It's empty of any content.
Empty of content.
Yeah. Doesn't have anything to say, doesn't have anything to do, it's just empty, it's just quiet. Everything is expressing. It's allowed to express. Comes and goes. Comes and goes. But that one is here. Doesn't come and go. And it's not disturbed at all. It's like when you decide to put explosions in the space, then everything, like when that explosion happens, it doesn't affect the space. When you pour water in the space, the space doesn't get wet. When you light the fire, the space can never be bent. So it's like that.
The heart is like that.
Yes, exactly. You can be in the midst of war, but it will seem as if nothing is happening. You remember those verses say, when you pass through the water, I'll be with you. When you walk through the fire won't burn you. I'll never leave you nor forsake you.
There's a lot of Christian awareness in you. A lot of authentic Christian awareness. How many hours did you spend at church a week growing up?
During those days, I would go to church maybe like every week, because after I would go to work and come back from work and to go to church to serve.
But you don't remember watching your dad preach, I guess. You were 7 when he died?
Yeah, I was 6, I think. Yeah,
6.
I was 6. Yeah, I remember. I got those like glimpses of those moments. I remember.
Did you
I
look
do
up to him?
recall. Sorry, come again?
Did you look up to him?
I was so little. I was so, yeah, I did. But I didn't understand so much at that time. I would just look, see him preaching, opening scriptures. Yeah, that was it.
When I was a young man, when I was a little kid, 6, 7, my father got custody of me. So I grew up with him and not my mother. And my father had been an alcoholic. And then he quit drinking. So it was the 70s and he was putting his life back together. And so he was doing a lot of New Age things. New Age stuff had hit Christianity really hard in the 70s. So he did a lot of like speaking in tongues and a lot of going to special strange meetings and lots of talk of just New Age concepts within the structure of Christianity. A lot of like baking bread, running around naked. A lot of running around naked. Somehow, I don't know. That was part of it. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
And of course,
Mhm.
he went on to do other things, but that the seed as a little kid, looking up to your parents is instrumental.
Beautiful. I think mine was an alcoholic too. And then at a later stage, he quit drinking, then decided to be a pastor.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
My dad, since I was a little kid, thought I should become a monk. So much so that last time I saw him, at 52 years old, he was like, "Yeah, you should have become a monk." Like, what about these kids I had? Aren't they, what about the fact I'm not Catholic? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But maybe he's right on some level. I'm trying to arrange life like that.
Yeah, but there's so much relief when we are nothing. You're living as nothing. Because they are really, we don't have patterns. When somebody talks to you, there's not that strong identity that's when you take an offense, when somebody talks, what are you saying? There's no, everything is light. It's not to say you may allow anyone to just beat you up. No. Obviously, you may seem to defend yourself, but that's what seems to be happening. Yeah, to be nothing, there's so much relief. Because nothingness is your true nature. It's what you are. So what you are is not waiting for anything to happen, doesn't have any desire, doesn't have any expectation. It's just here. That's seeing without thoughts, sensations. That's seeing alone. Of which the mental activity is just seen as an appearance in it. And it doesn't matter. The one who seems to be searching for it is already it. Or what is being searched for is already that which is searching. So there's nothing to do, really. because the real separate individual can never be found. It's just an idea, it's just a thought. The one who's searching, who's looking, is already that which is being looked for.
Be that as it may, I think I'll try to find who sees the center in the next week.
Yes. Yes. You know, anything that can be pointed to. See, no, their thoughts are appearing and disappearing. Oh, sensations. Oh, there's a sensor. Something greater than any of those things is already there. So
I know that. I want to feel that. Sometimes I feel that. I want to notice that all the time.
and then
seems a little-
spend some time.
Sorry,
Spend some time with it.
sorry.
Yeah, you can spend some time with it, stay with it, so it can be stabilized. Your attention, if your attention is stabilized in there, then there seems to be a change, a change happening. What was taken to be real will seem to be not real, and the space will be seen as you will no longer be out of focus. When you take yourself to be a person or the me, the space seems to be out of focus. It's redundant. But when the attention is with the space, and then everything else, objects, cars, buildings, trees, they'll seem to be out of focus. Well,
So I've gone to town for the first time, well, first couple times in the last couple days, once with my mom and once with my wife. This is just a very small town. I've gone, to the main, to that town, but then I've gone to the town that's closest, and it doesn't seem real. This does not seem real. And it's like there's nothing that grabs me. I'm trying to imagine that this will be where I live now, and that I will go to these places and get my hardware and my groceries. But it all just seems very imaginary and a little ludicrous, Maybe that's
beautiful.
Yeah.
Are people seen as real, though?
Sometimes.
Well, this week you may just spend some time, focus on the space, put your attention there, not on people or what's going on, the movement. Then people will seem not to be real at all. It's like when you are not busy, spend some time stabilizing in the spaciousness, in the space where nothing, where there are no thoughts, no sensations, nothing. Give your attention to that, then people will be seen as just not real at all. It is the thought activity that makes it seem as if, oh, no, people are real. But when the thought activity is not there, nothing is real. So at a later stage, thoughts may be accepted, but they won't matter. They won't matter anymore. They'll be just, just thoughts. This space doesn't have thoughts. It doesn't have a story. It's just a space. It's got nothing to say. It's not moving. There's just this, and everything else is imaginary. Yeah. Just be here. Don't follow thoughts and get lost in them, because thoughts are imaginary. Thoughts are not here. There are no thoughts here. There's no story here. There's no past here. There's no future here. Not even present. It's just here. And there's nobody here. It's just here-ness. Is there something happening here? There's nothing here. There's no story.
Okay, Nkosi. I'm going to go and play with my wife.
Okay.
I'm going to send you money for a computer now.
Okay. I would appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Bye.